All right, people, this is actually the first episode of our podcast. It's actually so new, we haven't even come up a name for it. Uh, but I'm joined by four other tech professionals right now, and we're gonna every single week here it's gonna be epic when this shit's done, like by the end of the year. But like every single week, we're just gonna be looking at a tech influencer. What are they doing? How did they basically escape the 9 to 5 grind so they don't have to worry about getting replaced by AI? No more this 5 days in the office threats, no more about getting laid off. My name is Rich. I'm the co-founder of Product Gym and Elevate. I'm just gonna have everybody do a quick intro of themselves, starting off with Susan, how's it going?
Hi everyone, my name is Susan. I am a product manager at S&P Global. I've been working there for about a year now. I have been on my influencer journey for about a month and a half now, and I'm really excited to go on this next journey and to see what the greats are doing so that we could replicate that as well.
Got it. Duru, how you doing over there?
Good, good. My turn to intro. Okay. My
That
name
was
is
easy. Yeah.
yes or no?
Yes, 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 yes,
Okay.
yes.
My name is Duru. Currently working as a quantitative developer, so I'm in finance. But I do work with tech a lot, and I do follow tech quite, closely. Just finished a master's degree in AI too, so ready to give my 2 cents.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Paula, how about you?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Paula. I'm a product consultant. I just started my own product management consulting business, actually. So it's very different. I've been doing the influencing thing. I've been trying to do the influencing thing for about almost the same time as Susan, like 40 days for me at this point, and it's been insane. So I'm just excited to keep going at it because yeah, it's
Sean,
just fun.
tell me about it, right?
I know.
I put it off for like years. I was like, New York
Same
is
here.
too small, but like, yeah, dude, Sean, tell us about yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Sean. I've been a product manager for about 7 years. Companies like Samsung, Altice, and Western Dynamic. Super excited to be here with you guys and pick each other's brain, um, reviewing all these contents and see what we can do moving forward. Thank you.
So like why does like what's kind of like the reason why everybody like wants to go ahead and do this? Like I think I have like kind of my own selfish reasons, but like Sean, well, why don't we go out there and kick it off with you? Because you also DJ, right? I'm like amazed like you didn't do like more stuff.
Yeah, so for me, it's like I'm always asking myself, what's the end game? What's something I really like to do? So,
Defend
yeah.
defend me.
Yep. So yeah, why not share our stories, what we're thinking about, and how can we tell our story? So that's something I kind of wanted to dig into. But Rich, to your point, I've been recording sets about my DJ sets here and there, different locations, and but I haven't released anything yet. I'm still trying to think like how what's the best way to um, release or present my experiences thus far.
Like just go call Mission and Den Social. If you like, hey, can I open for you guys on a Thursday? uh, oh man, Dura and I here go way back. Dura, what about you?
I will say for me, I've been feeling the, pressure to distinguish myself, like make a brand, like make myself a brand because I feel like there are so many talented individuals out there, especially in big cities like New York, San Francisco, and the competition is so real. So if you want to get somewhere, if you want to, be a leader or lead a team, you really need to learn how to, use your voice and how to create your own brand, right? How to create your own authority. So I would say that's the reason why.
Our ice skating queen right here, Susan. Yeah.
Um, for me, okay, so I actually did try influencing about 8 years ago, and I did it with a fashion angle. And honestly, my heart wasn't really in it. So I couldn't last for a long period of time. I did it for about a year and then I got very tired of it. And then I said, forget it. I don't care about this. But recently I kind of fell in love with ice skating. And what it represented to me was kind of like, I don't know, this is gonna sound so cheesy, but it's kind of like it's like healing my inner child, so to speak.
Wow.
And I think I have a very good message that I could share with the world. Um, I never thought it would be possible to learn a sport like this at my age. I'm 36 years old. And I'm not saying to the world like, "Oh my God, I'm such a good ice skater. Watch me do this jump or flip." That's not my message. My message is like, "Hey, like there are probably things you wanted to do in your life that you just never thought were possible. Just go for it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be ice skating. For me, it's ice skating. But for you, it might be, I don't know, like maybe it's running a marathon or maybe it's like training for some type of competition. And what I want to do is I want to meet like-minded individuals. It doesn't just have to be ice skating. It could be like any walk in life. And like I think Instagram or social media, it's a really good like channel where I could connect with people who I've never met with before. So for me, it's like I don't know, a way to connect with other people who are kind of like on a similar journey.
Totally get it. And like move to Korea to have your pre-midlife crisis, Emily in Paris.
Maybe it's a pre midlife crisis. Maybe that's what it is. I think maybe, like women my age, they typically have kids at this time and they put so much energy into having a baby. But for me, like I didn't have that. So like I have so much energy to like baby myself. So I don't know.
Love that. That's so sweet.
Yeah,
It's my favorite.
yeah. Paula,
I,
last, definitely not least.
I, what was the question again? I got really into Susan's thing.
Uh,
Oh.
like why did you want to go ahead and do this?
Oh, yeah. In some ways, kind of similar to a lot of you guys. It's nice. I reflected quite a bit. Like I think I've kind of shared the story a long time ago. It's just 6 months or back in June, I just quit my job. I was a director of product management. I've been working in startups in different countries. The people that you guys were talking about earlier, I was working in the Philippines for 3 months with my product management job, and it's been kind of fun and all those things. But um, at the same time, a part of me has always wanted to start a business, and I've just stopped myself doing that. I've tried to convince myself that I was ready for the soft life. I was having such a soft life. I was ready to not do anything. I was learning how to draw, just cleaning. I was ready to just be someone tell me what to do. Like I would love that. And then I just left. I left the job. It didn't fulfill me. Took a 6 months off, just do whatever I want. So I went to Japan for 3 months. I went to Europe and all these things. And I was like, okay, so what do I really want? And then I came back and I was thinking, well, do I do a thing job? Because that seems like the logical next step. I was actually, I was in your school. So you have two schools, one for the product management one and then one for the boss school one. And it was I remember thinking, do I invest money to get the FANG job that I know I'll leave in 2 years, but I also know would have to go probably some other city that I don't want to live in because I lived in I actually lived in, I had to move to the States and for a year for this job, and I did not like living there, but I do like the money. So that's kind of what I was thinking my life's gonna be when it comes to that. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. And then having to go back to the business again. So I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do the business. I've been thinking about it for 6 years. It won't leave my brain out. The only reason why I don't want it is because I don't want my face out there and I don't want my voice out there because I like being private. But you know what? This is it. I'm just challenging everything. Everything's on the go.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that's
that's
like, yeah, that's like so awesome. Like was the inflection point of like you were just like, I'm just gonna put myself out there.
I mean, you kind of just get somewhere where you repress and repress that voice, being like, oh, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, and you're just trying to like ignore it. You ignore it for years. Because I've been able to do a lot of things I've wanted to do. Don't get me wrong. I haven't, I've always have that intuition thing or intuitive thing, just like, oh, you have a great life back in Toronto, you have a great life downtown. Yeah, you're gonna have to pick your life, remove that all, leave the life that you love and then go somewhere else. And I did that because of a job or because I wanted to or because someone did that. Because I just there's just this voice in my head that I had to do that. So it's the same with this one where I'm just like, okay, well, I can't ignore this one now. So let's just do it. Let's see where it goes. And that's where I'm at. It's
This is
also
what,
like I was really
yeah,
I was
this is
also really having a great time. You're having a great time in Korea. I was great having a great time in Japan and trying to figure out like how do I get back here?
Oh.
I don't want to work here. I want to get back there. So
living in Asia. Living in Asia isn't the printing US dollars in Asia. Actually, no, printing US dollars like anywhere else is like
anywhere.
anywhere else, like, yeah, I do want to do a Dubai trip, but I it seems like a plane is going down like every week now. It's
Yeah.
like flying is actually like you're actually taking a risk
I know.
hopping on that. Like it used to be like, oh, it's the safest way to travel. Like, actually, it's mad dangerous. Yeah. Another Delta flight too. Did you guys see it? It went down in like South Carolina.
What?
On
Oh
with
my
the plane that
gosh.
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
go down though, right? Like
It
it was
didn't. It just like
there was
they
so much
saw
smoke.
smoke. And it was just like I woke up like a few hours ago and it was I thought it was the Delta flight for Toronto, and it was actually no, and it's like, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I think the best thing for you guys to do right now is just to breathe through your shirts. As they saw the fumes started coming out. We are gonna be performing like a safe emergency landing. Like this gal's like, what the fuck you mean to safe? Yeah, there's fire. And then like they
Oh
landed
my.
in South Carolina. So I like one of my friends told me that basically like the those Boeing planes or like what like these planes, they were, I think some of them are Airbuses, but like majority is like Boeing. They were only good for so long. And now it's like you're basically seeing like the malfunctioning of it. Like they're like, you're not gonna see David Beckham kick the ball at 45 like he did when he was like 25, you know. But
Mhm.
in in this market right now, the last thing these airlines want to do is replace the fleet, you know. Like, it's like
Oh,
yeah, so like
interesting.
honestly speaking, like the FAA should just go out there and just investigate their ass.
There was
Uh,
another incident today with Southwest. It was about to crash into a private jet.
oh, yeah, I don't know
Did
what,
you see that? Speaking of
Oh my
FAA,
gosh. Is it
yeah.
because like no one was flying during COVID and then now everyone's traveling and they're trying to
but
make
like
up for
No,
that
it can't be
time?
2022,
that.
Can't be
2023, everything was good. Last year, everything was good.
Yeah.
Like this year, all of a
It
sudden, it's crashing.
I
But the
think it is
the
a Boeing thing.
oh yeah, the
Like it,
uh,
you know how like they always have you ever seen that meme where it's just like, oh, if you want to get back at your ex or something, and then the thing was just call the CIA or just call the FBI and report that he was a whistleblower or a Boeing whistleblower or something like that. because
Oh
there's so many people being killed around like
Man,
being a whistleblower when it comes to that. Like that's actually like a thing. So yeah, I'm pretty
my
sure it
God,
has
they're
something to do
so
with that.
shady that it's
So
so dark.
shady.
but dude,
Oh,
whistle that's actually why you need a brand, you know? Because like if you think about it, if one of those like Boeing whistleblowers was like another Asian girl in tech, it would have just gotten like so much more coverage, you know? Like,
exactly.
you know,
Cancel
like
culture, right?
because there's the
Mhm.
one guy he was like on YouTube Live that was like, if you're like, he's like he just kept himself on live, like pretty much he's like, I would never commit suicide. Some of my colleagues that I've known, like they said they committed suicide, and then the guy stopped showing up, and then nobody gave a shit about it because the guy didn't have a brand, you know,
Yeah, that's
Or,
it's true.
you
Yeah,
know. But
yeah.
if you would have saw his ass go to Equinox the last 7 months doing cold plunge and making manifestation content, you know, and, and he looked like that dude from 50 Shades of Grey, and they'll be like, "This is wrong," you know. Seriously, you know, like,
Exactly.
like,
Exactly.
like if he was like, yeah, like you know, people wouldn't have let that shit happen. Yeah, but that's the problem because like my friends that are in recruiting right now too, they actually told me that like every recruiter in the country, they have the spreadsheet of the next batch of people they're gonna lay off ready to
Oh
go.
shit.
Yeah. Like it's literally like they're like, all right, initiate DEFCON 3, like, and like, it's just that next batch on the air table is like, what? But they actually have like on the columns, um, like how much money you make, what's your title, what's like what value do you bring to the business, and then like how did you get the job? The people that got the job from like their friends, depending on who's your friend and what's their title, you're also ranked on a different category. Like if you got the job because your bros are like the VP, like that's like a whole different thing. But like upon all that, there is this very dedicated section of like, do you have a brand? And like, what do you think?
No.
Yeah, like if you have like how many followers do you have? Because if you have like a certain number of followers, right? Like they don't want any type of like pushback. So
Holy
yeah,
shit.
because
Wow.
like then you'll have because then it's just um, none of the people that got laid off from Meta had really like a brand. And these people are like kind of furious because they're just like, um, they're like, how the hell is Mark gonna label me an underperformer when this other person that they kept on the team, he or she has been spending at least 20 hours a week editing their TikTok videos? Like, it's like, yeah, but bro, the thing is, that person's got a brand, right? Like my other friend, she was like at Warner's Music in LA. They're like, how is Shimu's girlfriend, that guy that played Shang-Chi? How is she still on the job? Because I've never seen her in one Zoom meeting, never seen her at the office. Still hasn't responded to any of my Slack messages, but she's with them at like she's like Milan, Paris, Tokyo, Sydney, Australia. But meanwhile, they'll be like,
Wow.
we gotta lay off like 2,000 people. It's like, why is she not on the chopping block? She doesn't need this. Yeah,
Wow.
but like the thing is,
It's like
like
a
if you,
metric of
yeah, because
a
essentially speaking,
performance indicator.
voila, because essentially speaking, you're like a freaking commercial for the business, right?
It's a marketing
100%,
arm.
Yeah.
Holy
100%.
shit. And they
That's,
don't want like the bad press or, you
Yeah.
know,
I mean, like, if there was anybody that cracked the code on brand, it's like the four girls from Blackpink, right? They all went out there to grab like Celine YSL.
Oh yeah.
Lisa took it to the
Chanel.
yeah, Lisa took it to the next level where she's dating one of the Arnold kids, like, you ain't gonna cancel me. You know who my boyfriend is? I'm gonna be on White Lotus next year. You ain't touching me. Yeah, so she's like guaranteed action, right? So they realize like because you don't make that much like that's when I started like my team, one of the guys on my team like really convinced me of it when he actually said that because most of the K-pop idols they tear off at like 27, 28. It's like game over at that point, based upon industry standards, but they all grabbed enough of a brand where it's just like they didn't let that happen. And that's actually why their contract dispute, like it pretty much was when they were hitting the late 20s mark. And then they were able to go out there and re-strong arm their company into saying, you're going to give us a way better contract, but also like in exchange, you're going to let us pursue our own individual activities because of like if you have that much of like a following, like your brand, um, was that like I sent you guys that video, like that Asian guy, Ryan Toe, he was like, we're in the age right now where like creators are becoming brands and brands are becoming creators. That one British guy, he's like out competing Nike because he will actually compete
Oh
in like
yeah.
high rocks. The guy's actually out there doing the competitions himself, and he actually ended up hiring like I think the former chief brand officer for Nike and Adidas to come and work for him because like people resonate with like people's like individual stories. So one of the best ways
Wow.
to not get laid off is actually like I sent Duru this thing too. You know, those like Korean Navy SEALs, they were like doing push-ups at the base, like freaking walking, like live streaming it. They're like, why you like we're not trying to get shot at for the rest of our lives, you know? I mean, shit. Yeah, so like everybody that's just like, oh yeah, my company has this. I was like, what are you talking about? There's a girl right now that's walking around the Spotify offices, the Meta offices, the Amazon offices, and despite like all the layoffs that are going on, like they're the least likely to get their head chopped off just because like they have that, that Instagram profile or like the Instagram follow,
Holy
YouTube
shit.
followers that's like backing them up. And yeah, it's like literally
Wow.
just right now too. I freaking saw this thing where it's like a day in the life of the FBI. And I was like, just in case
That
they're getting.
one is risky though. I feel like that one is risky. That you shouldn't want to do.
Yeah, but
risk.
that's like a low level person. It's not like actually like anybody that's doing like any real type of like, law enforcement. But look at Cash Patel, dude. That guy's branded up too. Did you guys see his girlfriend? The
I saw it on your Instagram.
yeah, she's like this like country music star. Um, they're like they're getting on this thing.
Wow.
Yeah, but like yeah, that's like the other reason why you want to have a brand because like it actually prevents you from, you know, getting laid off, but it also has like a different like income stream for you because now all of a sudden like I saw one product manager, she's like she was like repping that backpack brand called Fall Raven just because she likes it. And then you start getting like 1,000,
Offers.
yeah, $1,000 to $3,000 per post just repping Fall Raven. And I was like, shit, Canada Goose owes me a freaking invoice. It's like, but like, yeah, because like, even like Sydney Sweeney too, like, because Duru follows her, and she said this thing I thought it was like freaking amazing. I posted up on my story where she's like a lot of people thought I was like really. She said this thing in some podcast, and it's been like on every single like thing since. Where she's just like, a lot of people think like even though I was like on Euphoria, like I was like, I had all this. She's like I was barely able to go out there and pay rent just because she's like now like actors and actresses we don't get paid like people used to anymore because you're competing against influencers for the same
No.
deals. And she's
Wow.
like
Also,
of course.
but there's also another like aspect to it. They don't have benefits like a regular employee.
Oh, the
Like
SAG thing. Oh, the SAG health
similar
insurance.
Right, similar to what like Chappelle Roan said in Grammys, right? She was like, I'm calling out everyone here, like we don't have insurance, we don't have any social
What?
security. So
They don't
so
have insurance?
no, they don't. So like they are basically contractors for these, companies.
Yeah.
They
Unless you're
have to
Tom,
take care of
yeah,
them.
yeah. Unless you're Tom Cruise, like if you get injured on the job, yeah. But she hired
Wow.
like a manifestation coach, and she was like, I'm gonna print cash, and like now it's like all over because she made her journey so public. Like she was just straight up like saying it, like, yeah, I'm like broke, but like I'm not gonna stay this way. And she's like,
Is
she hired,
Sweeney was
yeah.
broke?
No, she was like a few years ago. She's no longer like
Wow.
she's like worth like 40, like the past 2 years she's been printing. She's worth $40 million right now. And
Right.
they recently interviewed her and they're just like, wasn't it crazy like a few years? She's like, yeah, I said I was gonna do it, you know?
So did she use like social media to become huge, or she like went the traditional route?
She did everything everywhere all at once, yo.
Everything, everything.
Everything. Everything, yo.
But I think the influencer path is like it's it's like it's faster, it's more guaranteed. Like it's better than the Hollywood route.
No, even for like recruiting across the board for like multiple industries. Like I was actually at this like meetup out here in Seoul. They're like recruiting across like multiple industries are like actually down. They're like, if you just take a look at like the guy, he's like a rack of like Koreans from like America that are here. It's like K-pop is down, finance is down, NFL is down, and they're like these people that are making content just on the journey of like trying to become a K-pop idol, or like I'm trying to freaking like get drafted by the NFL, or like, like just trying to get like a Goldman Sachs internship. They're making more fucking money off of that. Where it's just like,
Than the
yeah, then
actual
like the actual,
traditional.
yeah, yeah, like they're making more money off of
Yeah.
that. And they have like so much more like freedom. Like there's this one other dude he showed me, I forgot, where he was just like, I didn't like if you don't get drafted the first round coming out of college for the NFL, like you're listed as undrafted, and then you have to like, I guess get more jacked up and come back. And he was like making a list of like videos just like of like him like working out, and like he's like, this time I'm gonna get it. And he didn't get it, but he actually made so much more money. And like the protein powders and all that shit um gave him
Sponsorship.
sponsorships, because like it's just like you feel like the guy, like he really wants to be in the NFL. And then now it's just like him and his
Wow.
girlfriend is like, this is actually like 6 months afterwards. He's like, I think God, this guy's so funny. Like, I don't watch football, like, Brian, our friend, but like, he's just like, I think God has a plan for all of us because I actually make really good money now. And like, my girlfriend doesn't have to worry about me getting brain injury. It turns out like all the protein powders like I promoted, and like the ice pack and the neck massager, they all gave me a deal,
Wow.
you know. Versus like, now it's just like if he was an NFL player, he'd have some Tom Brady that's like laser focus. We gotta win the Super
Right.
Bowl this year.
Wow.
And it's just like we gotta win the Super Bowl again and
All
again. Like
right.
now the guy's
Right.
just
And
like,
then go through a divorce, ruin
yeah,
your life,
yeah, like forget
see
like,
your baby, your the love of your life, mother a
yeah.
new baby with another man. Like,
You
I
don't
don't
have to
know if
like
it's worth
withstand that
it
like
for Tom
scrutiny
Brady.
anymore, where it's just like, at what point did you realize you guys lost the game and it was over? Like, yes, like now the guy's just like, it looks like he's only working like 4 hours like a day. I should have gotten the guy's name, but he had like a bunch of like, this is truly
But
the influencer capital, like how like New York, when I moved there in 2017, had like 5 product management meetups like a week. There's literally like 19 influencer meetups across Seoul in every neighborhood. And the guy brought out
Is
like
it
examples.
is it too hot right now
For what? The
for
weather?
influencing?
No.
Is it a phase? Is it gonna like fade away? Like these people who are bragging about their like fast success, like are we gonna laugh at them like in 2 years? Like like in the Big Short, all these like real estate agents, they were like making so
Mm.
much money off of like whatever their deals that were so easy.
Oh,
And
those
then
rows in Florida.
yeah, they're like, oh, it's so easy. I sell it to illegal immigrants. It's so easy. And then like they look so dumb. And then 2 years later, the world crashed. Is it gonna be like that? I don't
No.
know.
What the like what I've been studying has been like you gotta go ahead and basically the way to do it is you gotta compete in the team.
In the
You're
team?
talking about like 2019, 2020 was like people that were competing at this at the like individual level. Like now
Uh-huh.
people are competing in like teams. Like if you take a look at
Uh,
it's funny, like Andrew Tate, right? He has like his whole like it's freaking hilarious. There's like a whole genre of these podcasts. This freaking Korean kid, he's only like 19, but I was just laughing my ass off, and I was like, I wish I had your level of grind at 19. I was a total degenerate at that time. But like he's like they bring like Fresh and Fit's one of them. There's this other guy who like he looks like he's like a Christian dude, but it's like definitely not Christian at all. And they bring these girls from OnlyFans onto the podcast just to shame them on how bad your dad is like would not be proud of you being on OnlyFans. And then they're like, but the guys that are watching that podcast, it's essentially a commercial for these girls to rack up more followers for their OnlyFans, just for these guys to do freaking
Yeah.
sushi omakase and Korean barbecue with them right after the podcast. And it's like the guys that are shaming them on OnlyFans, like the reason why they would do that is because they're like, well, if they just had a podcast with just bros talking crap about girls that were on OnlyFans, nobody would come. But if you get 8 girls from OnlyFans there and start some shit with them, like an actual dialogue, like an actual confrontation, people watch it more.
Interesting.
And that's
Mhm.
but like what they do is they just keep showing up on each other's podcasts. And they're like, you got to go ahead and like basically compete as a team. So everybody here is going to have their podcast. There's going to be a Richard Chen podcast, a Duru podcast, like a like a DJ Sean podcast, like a Paulo podcast,
DJ
and then like
Sean.
Susan podcast, right? And you'll have like, you basically just like you cross pollinate and you guys just keep on promoting. Uh, Dana White was the same thing. Like I always like that freaking kid's like a genius. He's like, you want to know why? Like there's a photo of Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Dana White after the election, and they're like, this is the future CTO and CMO of America. And I was actually wondering, like CTO, I could understand because like Elon is like tech, but then I was actually thinking like, why would like Dana White be the future CMO of America, Chief Marketing Officer of America? And the whole thing was like, he's like the like Nelk Boys, the Joe Rogan podcast, Theo Vaughn, Logan Paul, all of those podcasts that geared towards that freaking sexually frustrated middle like male demographic.
Incel.
He's been funding those guys for the last 6 to 8 years, and Trump did a
Ooh.
podcast with every single one of them, right? And they're on that shit, and they're always showing up like on each other's thing. Another group that you'll see is like that comedian Schultz
Oh
with the
yeah.
Indian guy, right? Where they're like on a couch. You notice like the podcast now it's like 4 or 5 people. They all have their own individual podcast
Yeah, yeah,
together.
I've
Yeah.
seen that one.
And then
Yeah.
yeah,
The
and then like they'll
mustache
show
guy.
up. they'll show up on each other's podcast and they'll just keep going like round
I
over and over and over again.
see.
So
Okay.
I actually want the group to like actually get bigger because like the least saturated market is actually tech.
Mm,
Like there's like most
Interesting.
of tech right now, nobody is competing as a team.
mm,
Like if you're talking about product management, they're all competing individually because most of the influencer market right now in tech, they're Asian. And Asian people don't compete in teams. They compete very individually. Like they say,
Oh.
and like every freaking Korean kid knows this growing up in church is like, oh yeah, like it's like freaking hilarious. My one friend, he had a Korean, his parents, they had like a Korean barbecue restaurant 2 hours north of LA in this place called San Luis Obispo. And all the people in at his church, they would like drive up there 3 hours just to be like, oh yeah, we're coming here to support. And he's like, once they proved out that concept a year later, 8 other people from his same church also opened up a Korean barbecue restaurant. They're like, you
Oh
fuck. So I was like, no,
shit.
we claimed this territory. Yeah, yeah,
Korean
yeah, yeah.
competition.
So like every single like Asian influencer that I've reached out to in product management, I was like, I would love to have you on the Product Gym podcast, or I would love to go out there and ask you like what you did. They're all just like they all just kept to themselves, and I'm like, okay, great, because I actually can technically raise up my own influencer army and now fuck you up. And like anybody that knows me at a personal level, like I cracked that freaking hinge funnel, dude. Like you give me enough time.
What's the
The
hinge funnel?
hinge, no, we gotta talk about that next episode. Like at the height of like at my like Cristiano Ronaldo prime, like
Oh.
like yeah, like I interviewed like the chief product officer, like the product team over there, like Hinge and stuff, and I was asking them like all these questions, and they're like, "Are you asking it for yourselves?" Like 100%. So, but I had my assistant like hit him up like, "Yo, we love Hinge, and we study different." You know, I was like, "I'm up the street from you guys here in Midtown. You guys are in Flatiron." Um, yeah, we're a big fan, and we actually wanted to do a case study on dating apps, and we found that your dating app is actually the best dating app in all of the dating apps. So, oh, like I would love to come down and if you don't mind, like just interview you guys. And I was like, yeah, it's like so I raised like every customer pain point. I was like, so what do you do when you're seeing the same people like over and over again? How like is there like different tiers of like higher quality talent versus like lower quality talent? And they're like, so you're talking about seeing like that, what we call the A's. And I was like, yeah, how do we get to the A's? And they're like, okay, this is what you got to do. You got to rack up. They're like, they showed me all these different metrics and KPIs. Like, so what are the best photos? You know, because we also get a lot of people. And then like, I think like after a while, the dude was just like, are you asking this for yourself, bro? I was like, 100%. And they're like, is this going to be featured at Product Gym? I was like, I can have you guys featured every single week. But this was like pre their acquisition. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like I was like, hands down, I was like, for New York, I thought they were like the best. Um, at the time. Like I don't know how it's like now because I don't use it anymore. But like actually Hinge in Korea, it's freaking lit. So it's like all these people that used to live in New York that now live in Korea, that use Hinge. Like you won't really find like the local people using it, but like yeah, there's like always like a funnel. And if I spend enough time on a funnel, I'll freaking go ahead and crack it. So
Wow,
what I
that's
basically
interesting.
saw with the whole thing was like you have to like there's like 5 videos that they make that's guaranteed to go out there and print cash. The number one video is like a day in the life. What do I do? And um the other one is like what I actually do. And that's when like they have their first proof of concept. They'll whip out the second one and it's like actually showing them like what they actually do. Because we have like I actually racked up. Yeah, we scraped the whole thing in terms of like I mean, one of them told me the market's big enough for all of us, right? We're about to find out. We're about to find out. But we got the first one I think I want to do like in the next episode is definitely Chloe Shi. She's 100% the reigning champ in product management. She's being studied right now by actually just regular Instagram like people that um I'm gonna find the video of you guys, but I saw it when I was like scrolling on Instagram. But she has about currently right now 350,000 subscribers. She got on Forbes. She has 296 videos out. Majority of it is dedicated to shorts. On top of that, she also has like her own Instagram, which she kind of posts up like her own personal life, but her videos have consistently gotten better. We know that studying her here in the Korea team, she's been focusing a lot more on shorts and a lot less on long form, but I guess that's also because of like people's attention span. Like right
Yeah.
now, yeah, like soccer right now, I saw this other thing where nobody's actually watching a full soccer game unless you're
Wow.
like people like sports across the board, they're just watching like TikTok highlights. Because
Wow.
it's just like, yeah,
That's
yeah,
Yeah, I
insane.
like
see that.
That's
90 minutes,
insane.
unless
Jeez.
I'm actually like seeing Cristiano Ronaldo live in Saudi Arabia, like that's a lot of time you're asking for me. Uh,
Wow. But
yeah.
like I've been to I went to a comedy show that was only TikTok like influencer comedians, and it was bad. It was so choppy. Like these people, they couldn't hold they couldn't string three sentences together. They did everything in like 2-second increments, and it was just so awkward to see them live in person. So I think that's not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's it's basically like being photogenic and but or being better looking in real life. That's sort of the situation that
Yeah.
they're having.
well,
It's
Yeah.
but here's the thing about TikTokers though. They are extremely data driven as fuck. And they are
yeah.
extremely persistent. So they'll go back and like look at all their shit and just analyze. But like, yeah, I mean, the homework assignment is like, I guess like I started off like I don't want anybody to know my real IG handle. I don't know,
Oh,
sometimes people still find them. So I was like, I started up what bad economy because that's like kind of my mantra. uh,
good
but like,
attitude in life.
yeah, dude. And I'll just
Good
post up like,
message.
yeah, but like I would say like the next batch is like of like actual assignment is just like I think everybody here should start up their own like YouTube channel. Just like get that thing started, grab a handle, YouTube channel, Instagram channel. I think those two are the first two things that you need to kind of start it up. And then like I think we should all just kind of have a topic. Like I'm just gonna do like a day in the life. Um, and there's like for me when I did the Seoul apartment tour, because like I don't freaking want like I think that's like the other thing when I bought into it was like people think like you have to do all this editing. If you take a look at like all of these influencers, their like first batch of videos, they actually weren't that good. So my
Yeah.
Seoul apartment tour, I just did it straight from my iPhone. I didn't even have like the wireless DJI mic right here. I just did it like straight up for real. And I just put all those clips together and dropped it. There's no motion graphics, there's no graphics, there's no anything like that. But I think like a day in the life, that would be like the first like kind of video to just get started with.
For YouTube.
Yeah.
Mm.
If you guys wanted to go out there and get started. I mean, this is content already in itself, and I think it's pretty like
Right.
it
Mm.
it would be pretty like it'd be pretty interesting. Like, dude, who else would be? We're putting it out there. I'm fucking putting it out there. Like, we're gonna analyze all the most successful channels. People will
Yeah.
naturally be very curious because they're all watching it. Because like, there's about like for every influencer out there in tech, there's about like another like 2, 3 thousand product managers. That's just like me and Doer's been talking about this shit for years. That's just like, yo, how the hell are they getting like 4, 5, 600,000 views? Um, I saw there's like this one short that was just like as rough edited as possible that did a Spotify office tour. Like that did like close to 600,000 views because people are just like interested in it. I don't think people would have done it back in like 2018. Um, but like now it's just like it seems like the people that are putting it more out there, those are the mother lovers that are printing cash. Yeah.
Huh. I don't know though. Like I feel like I mean it's been 40 days for me in the desert, but like I feel like I'm not getting anywhere right now. It's kind of like product gym, like you do it, you're like on your 100th interview and you're like this shit is getting nowhere, but like you are getting smarter and you are picking up on the buzzwords and you are
Mhm.
like but I'm just at this point where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So it's like kind of nice to have this group to like talk about stuff for emotional
Yeah.
support
Yeah.
and then to also like we're doing these exercises where we're analyzing what the successful people are doing. Like,
We are. And we will. I'm
yeah, it's kind of like a cheat, like a hack.
well, I think there's like a few things that like having a group, having a team gives us an insane advantage on. Is number one is like the consistency aspect of it. Because if you're doing it by yourself, like you're not going to be consistent, right? And that's just like I think number one. Like now we kind of like in our little group chat. That's going to be one expensive ass fucking group chat in about like 90 days. Because
Ooh,
because
love
like
it.
because we got some fucking smart ass motherfucking people on here and we just got to rally like some
Oh.
more. But like I think there's like a few things that we can focus on because I grab like a bunch like if we wanted to be successful in this, there's a few ways you can go ahead and do it. Number one is you hire like a coach that has already done it and asking them how they do it starting all over again. And most of these people
Mm,
don't want to share this information. Largely,
yeah.
name names. I've reached out to these people. We've offered payment, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, like it's not that hard." Like, fuck you. You just made your life harder because I could either
Why
be
why don't Why don't you think they want to share? Is it because it's too tedious and it would literally take like so much time for them to like mentor you, or like they don't want you to be successful?
I think it's a combination of like all the reasons that you listed above. Like when I left recruiting to go coaching and product management, a lot of people are like my recruiter friends in California were like, let us know how that goes. And then when like I had a clearly, I think like the Christmas product gym Christmas party, December 2018, which I think was like epic, the amount of money we blew on alcohol. Like I had the alcohol left over until 2019. That was a fun one. But like it was just like even at that point now, it's just like, okay, like you're so much farther like ahead, like it's actually kind of hard for somebody like they it doesn't really make I get it and I empathize with it. Like it doesn't really make financial sense for them to just go all the way back because also so many things have changed. And it's just like
Exactly.
people like they don't get it. The other thing is like they also see you as like a sign of competition. And then the third thing is they like
Right. Yeah.
legitimately don't have the time. So like it doesn't make business sense for me, like shy of you being like my family member to go out there and mentor you. And then like it doesn't like it's time that I'd rather spend printing cash or doing nothing. So it doesn't really align with my values. And you're possibly
I see.
like another source of competition, right? Like that one Korean lady that you reached out to that was like former banker turned influencer.
Yes. Love her. Yeah,
Former
she told me the same thing. She was
former
charging $5,000 for her mentorship program and it was okay, but she said she just didn't have the time for it anymore.
You guys are
And
all
she
about to get those deals.
Yay! Can't wait. And then this lady was telling me her goal is to make $5 million this year. I'm like, wow, five
Get it.
million.
Let's get it.
That's
Dude,
amazing.
yeah. There was like, and like, also like people can just be, I think, so flaky. Like, there's like this one girl, it's hilarious. I think I sent her handle to Duru. I forgot her name, but this Turkish girl that works at JP Morgan in the Chicago office basically was like whipping up like her own little mini product gym. And then she asked me if I can go out there and promote her. And I was just like, why? But like, anyways, I guess she like kind of thought about it some more because like me promoting her would just be us really promoting ourselves.
Like the OnlyFans girls who are getting
Right. And
beaten
like
up.
it was like hilarious. And she like asked me, and I was just like, it makes no business sense. But I was like, I appreciate the audacity hitting me up like this. So I told my because I took like 4 years of like German in university, and like I'm boys with the I'm in this Turkish group chat right now. The freaking thing is insane. These guys, well, anyways. So like I have all these boys that are like Turkish guys from either like Turkey, Germany, or Sweden. And I was telling them about it, like, dude, she actually hit you up like that? I was like, yeah, 100%. I was like, yeah, totally, we would do that shit. They're like laughing their ass off. They're like, can you send us her LinkedIn profile? Yeah, these guys are all either still like in if they're not in like one of the major cities in Europe anymore, they're just like in Dubai. They're freaking hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like they either see you as a threat, they either see you as possible competition. It's either financially not worth their time. They feel like you're so far ahead of it. But let's just assuming all positive intent. So many people that hit them up, they actually don't even do the work. Um,
That's true. That's
yeah, yeah,
another, yeah.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I've been I was actually like the first 2 years of Product Gym, I was very gracious with my time for like other people that were um like, hey, a bit like, I want to start my own software engineering bootcamp or UX design bootcamp. And like they just never like I gave them the whole blueprint and like they never did anything with it. So that's also disappointing. I think so there's like the consistency and the accountability aspect of it that's like
Uh,
eating in a group. The second thing is like I racked up like all these like Instagram like bros that they're literally like don't launch don't like drop like shorts until you do this until you've done this and it's just like I can't freaking keep up with all and like I kept watching like another one and another one. I was like, I can't keep up with all of these. And oh, this guy here is like, don't do it without doing like I can't keep up with all of it. I don't actually have the technical background. And we tried reaching out to some of these people. They're like agencies. They charge like 15 to $20,000 and then like they don't know anything about product management, they don't know anything about tech, they don't know anything about like the community, the demographic. So we're essentially they're getting paid to learn a new market niche, right? So I was like that also doesn't make sense. But there's like a huge technical part. The third thing is, well, shit, I know a bunch of technical ass people, so why don't we just go ahead and just do that? But the third thing is, you still got to go ahead and promote each other because back at the closed she days, you could just drop your own individual content and just keep going. But now it's just like, I would really depend on like 4 or 5 other channels to just like, we keep on promoting. If you take a look at somebody like Alex Hormozy, like, there's a
yeah.
whole influencer circle of just people like he's in the same group as like Cody Sanchez, me and
His
Dude,
wife.
yeah, me and Duder was watching this like dentist bro, no, the doctor guy from the UK, Ali Abdal.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, he's on the same group as them.
Yeah, and like Cody
Oh,
Sanchez, Ravi, that bro like
Mm.
Miami. So they're all either in like Vegas, Austin, Texas, Miami, London, or like, and they just all keep on showing up. Um, like what's that other guy? Like Ryan Pineda.
Oh,
Yeah, they
interesting.
just keep on like, um, yeah, like this dude, that guy, he's another one of them. This whole little Kingdom Summit, all these guys are just influencers, right? Um, Another dude like Steve Graham, like the guy that used to sell real estate for the Oppenheimer group. Now he's just like full
Oh,
time. He used to just make videos, and then now he started his podcast called Ice Coffee. Yeah,
oh,
like
interesting.
it's just the same. Like it's just basically the newer version of like, Ramsey. Like, because they used to just do it by themselves, and then now they just realize like they just have to like compete in like a group. So
Interesting.
everybody
Hmm.
here, like these mofos, is gonna have like a podcast with like a million. Because right now, like who's podcasting right now in product management? What, Lenny? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's it, right? I mean, is there anybody else other than
There's
Lenny?
a few.
Like
There's
who?
this there's the Melissa one, I think, and she has a book around product management. So very similar to Lindy, I think.
Similar to Lenny. Who else? Newsletter
Um,
is like Akash Gupta, right? Akash Gupta, he crushed it with Substack. Chloe is like YouTube and definitely like all things I think video. She went down the list like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and then now I think she's working on like LinkedIn. But who else? Like who else in tech? Can't think of any, right?
I mean, this is gonna sound really bad. I just when I definitely worked in tech, as much as possible, I didn't want to listen to anything anyone else working as a product manager. So um maybe I wasn't the best person to talk to about this, uh but yeah, I think Melissa and Lenny and then there's a couple more, but they never got big.
Yeah,
I
like
think I would say the people who do get big, they have a personality, but the reason why they don't get big is because they're not they would probably do the same thing I would tend to do, which is to just focus on the educational part and the content part and not be entertaining.
exactly. This is where the gold rush is, folks. Because they've already proven this shit out. We have all the titles. Now we just gotta drop it like it's hot. We gotta like Duru I know on a personal level. Like I would like I'll give her my IG handle, right? Like optimizing the we just gotta optimize the profiles on the technical level. And then we just got to promote and just be consistent. So if we're recording content consistently and we're promoting it consistently and we're consistently optimizing for the latest trends, and plus we have like all the memes, like you know, Wall Street Oasis, we spent one day in Korea just racking up memes, just taking a look at like, because like they'll do the thing where it's just like they had like that little collage. I think everybody saw it where it's just like Doctor Strange, where it's like how I feel when I just got an interview from Goldman Sachs scheduled on my Google Calendar and he just jumps off the balcony. Like we like another one that that was like really funny is like, did you guys all watch Dune, right? With Timothy Chalamet? Like, that scene where he's like, it's not hope. It's like when your boss tells you why they decided to hire like a head of product from outside of the company. That's like these people deserve to be led by one of their own. It's like we gave them hope. It's not hope. Like people love those memes. And then we spent like another day where we just racked up like all those comments and like all the emojis. And it's just like comment funnel, comment scale, comment roadmap, and it's just like how they just automate that shit with like mini chat. And then on the back end, they collect the emails and it's just like we screenshot it on Miro. I was gonna say like everybody else should just like not be scared, but no, I'm coming to fuck you guys up because when I compete, I fucking compete to win. And my whole team's ready to go out there and fucking we're just like studying. There was like, okay, all right, Rich, you can go out there and record like drop like 60 shorts in a day, but they're
Mhm.
like I was like our time's probably better spent just raising our own influencer army. And I was actually thinking to myself, yeah, because
Oh.
like, but there's kind of no choice. Like, AI is coming to take most people's jobs away because like at the executive level, they don't want to pay you guys. They're just
Oh
like,
my gosh, speaking of that, my boss gave me an assignment today and he told me, Susan, use AI to do this assignment. And I was like, what the fuck, man? This is like so demoralizing. Like, like he was telling me just plug it into AI, and I'm like, dude, like this is not looking good.
Oh, like the fact that Duru here has a like a master's in AI, like those like you're just gonna see like we just it's a race, right? Because like Gary Vee said this shit already. He was like, it's all gonna be about two things, your brand and your online community that you own. And he was like, you're gonna start seeing the rise of like AI influencers. They're gonna engineer these like companies are gonna build their own influencers that look exactly like whatever user created.
Uh,
So they're
I
like,
don't know though. I don't know. Like, have you seen the AI videos for like ballet or ice skating? They're so bad.
yeah, but it only gets better.
No, but have you seen the Chinese ones? There's
Are they good?
Chinese AI now. They're insane. Like there's just there's the Chinese channel here, and they show me like the AI that they're doing so that they don't have to pay extras anymore. And they all look like the movement is still there's some movement that if you really look closely, you know it's AI. But for the most part, if you're just looking at it from afar, it's just insane.
But
That's
for
mad
extras,
savage, even by Asian
Like
standards, because
for
they don't even
extras,
pay
yeah, they so that
extras
they don't even
money.
have extras anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. But not for the main talent.
but
I
not
mean,
yet.
eventually it'll replace the main talent.
Eventually, I don't know. Because like
Everybody, so YouTube
I
channel up,
yeah.
Instagram channel up. We're gonna get this shit edited on Opus for the AI. We're gonna start promoting each other freaking hard. Okay. Let's take all these people out. I mean, shit. There's no reason why, Duru can't be the face of some like, new water bottle that keeps your water cold for the next 30 days, like what?
Water bottle, dude.
I'm on board. Okay, I'm down.
Dude, these people are out there. These people are out there printing hard freaking cash. And I noticed like the one of the biggest money printers for these people, that's been talking about their boot camp experience has been like giving a shout out to these AI application companies like AI Apply, and they're
Oh,
like, when I like, like transitioning from like boot camp into like my first job in tech, I knew I had to do more interviews than everybody else, and I leveraged like because there's so many of these AI apply companies right now.
oh
They just have to,
wow.
and then they're like
Yeah.
they'll get like like anywhere between like depending on your following like 500 to like $500 to like $2,500 a post. And right now people have been like that's actually been a one growing sector is people have been buying these AI job applying apps because like you just have to apply so much more than
Oh,
like Google.
wait, look, can we make some content like that?
100% we can. I'll bring in a list. Let's actually let me go ahead and do some digging, find out who pays the most.
Hmm.
Like Sean is fresh from combat here, the job line.
Yep.
Yeah, but I would say like the influencers that I did see, the other thing is um in analyzing the data, they go to these brand deals with like this is how many followers I have, this is the age demographic range of the people that like I own, this is like the gender, this is like down to like the ethnicity, and they
Mhm.
negotiate like a hell of a deal for themselves. So um yeah,
Interesting.
they always start off really niche about something, and then they just get like once you have mass enough of a following, you just start just getting paid on doing current events, like Stephen Graham. Like he started
Yeah.
doing like,
Yeah.
like because the guy didn't want to be a real estate agent forever, and it was just like, you know, now it's like I'm a real estate agent, blah 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 blah. But like then he realized like then he started talking about real estate investing, and then he started now just talking about like just regular shit. Like he'll do a whole thing like what's dating like in Miami. And they'll just get like 600,000-700,000 views off of that. Like we'll all have YouTube channels by June where it's just having like 100,000
Wow.
views. And we'll just like now it's just like all these YouTube videos that we do and all the podcasts and all the shorts that we whip out, it'll just print cash for us. Like essentially YouTube is a it's an upward spiral. Once you actually have a YouTube with a lot of views, the more brand deals want to go ahead and actually give you a deal. And the more brand deals that you have, you just rack up more views. And then now you're on an upward spiral. So you don't even have to like offer like a course. Like so many of these, like they would start off with like, how I got a product manager job. People like, I could pay you to help teach me how to get a product manager job. Now they just make so much money, even just giving a shout out to Robinhood, because they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, like what do I do with my money? Like, like so I invested it in Robinhood. So why did I choose Robinhood over E-Trade? Like they'll just pay like I noticed like all of them to print cash, they all did some kind of stock investing content because people are very interested in like getting paid money without. That's why you'll always see me rallying for Palantir. I'm like
Interesting.
manifesting Palantir.
Yeah.
I would love for Palantir to just give me a shirt and I'll just go out there and just sport it. I don't care what their software does, dude. They're printing cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rich, Rich, I saw that the Cape product manager guy, he was pretty much doing, the day in the life of, or how I got a job as a product manager. And I think he just got sponsored by Dove, or
The
some,
soap.
So
yeah,
random. So
yeah. He was like,
unrelated.
Dude, I freaking saw that shit. It was just like, like before I do an interview, I gotta feel good about myself. That's
yeah,
why I use Dove. So I was like, shit.
yeah,
I was like, people, dude, this racket has gotten so shameless. I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, freaking, I was talking about it, James. I gotta start working out hard, dude. I would totally like film me showering, dude, and just send a check for
yeah,
Dove, Dial,
Wow. Yeah.
Heels. Let's
Interesting.
we'll do it all. Yeah, that guy got dude, I saw that shit. That guy got sponsored by Dove.
yeah. Props to him,
It's
props to
funny.
him. But yeah, but it
Yeah,
Yeah.
was kind of
respect.
random. Yeah,
Respect.
He won't need to be a product manager, honestly, for much longer at this rate.
Woo! Well, Gary Vee, he started off as like a wine
Wine
expert,
guy.
you know?
He started off
mm,
making like it's a typical New York immigrant store. They had like a wine shop. Like we don't have that kind of shit in LA, you know. Like we
Oh,
just get
the
wine
wine
from
shops?
yeah, we just get wine from like Costco or freaking Trader Joe's. Uh
Oh, but like talking about niche and then like ending up like somewhere else, it doesn't matter where you start, like whatever, you just double down on what you got and work from there.
I mean Hormozy was the gym guy.
And he doesn't even talk about fitness that much.
Oh
He
man.
talks about business and like entrepreneurship and
Because he had to learn all that shit about YouTube and Instagram. But yeah, let's wrap it up. This was great content. I cannot wait for one of you guys to get a deal with Dove. Let's all part of the assignment is
maybe it'll be all of us, our
no,
whole
no, 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 no,
team.
no. This is actually a homework assignment. Like freaking hell. I want everybody make a list of all the products. Dude, this is what Sydney Sweeney did, dude. It was freaking like, and that's what the Blackpink girls did too. Like, they made a list of all the
Oh.
products that they were fans of. That's why, like,
Mm.
like Lisa, she was signed by like Celine first, and then she went with LV, and that's why, like, that one song, she was like tight dress, LV sent it, like freaking like Rose,
Wow.
that freaking song Toxic. Like, I can forgive you for all of the things and not giving me back my Tiffany rings. Like, that homie
Okay.
those lyrics in from years ago.
Homework assignment. We write all the
Like
brands that we
all the
want to get
freaking brands,
sponsorship from.
all of the freaking
Yes.
brands. Like Rosie's probably, I think the one of the coolest ones because she signed with like Puma and also Rimowa. And she's also a big fan of like that guy Lewis Hamilton. And he's also signed with like Puma and Rimowa, like that
Oh.
luggage company. Like I noticed like all the Cape Korean influencers, they gotta be That's a flex now. You got to be signed with you got to be with one luxury brand. You got to be a one watch brand. You got to be a one luggage company because you're always on the
Oh,
go. You got to, so make a list of like all the brands you guys are freaking that you guys would love, like Kios, anything, everything. Because if the K product manager can get Dove,
I know that's so
So
freaking random. That's
dude, go for that because
hilarious.
he would it's so smart because it's a segment they don't have access to. Like,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
like, yo, they already got the female market, right? That's like your average, like what, Asian American tech professional. Like, yeah, they probably don't know what
Uh,
kind of soap they're using, but
oh, right. What's the next soap you're gonna get now? Because it was so freaking funny. You're gonna get a Dove.
yeah, exactly. Like freaking what's that thing called? Like whatever Razor Harry's Dollar
Yeah.
Shave
Yeah.
Shine.
Yeah.
Everybody make a list of 25 brands, 25s for Christmas. Everybody make a 25 brands that we're manifesting them.
Yes, manifest.
Like I sent Duru like a Korean influencer like in New York, and there's like so many of them. You know how she like
Oh
started
no.
Aloe? Like they'll just tag like at Aloe.
That's the influencer blueprint, Alo. Like
That
you
that
need to wear that
that's
brand.
that's how it starts. Like you just start tagging them as if you're already an influencer, and then before you know it, they freaking send you an official letter. Um, I mean, shit. Even like getting a year's supply of free Dove is not bad, you know?
I know that's expensive. Yeah, it's good.
All right, fam. So everybody start Instagram
Uh,
channel, like a business Instagram channel. Like doesn't have to be like the actual like Instagram business account, but it's the one that's not connected. Like I don't know, I don't need people knowing where I'm having dinner in Seoul. Uh, like we have like that one, and then like a YouTube handle, and then like a YouTube handle, and then we come back with 25 brands, and then yeah, let's like Susan, you're doing like so much skiing, like the winter sports stuff. Like you should definitely be giving out a shout out to like the number of people that started snowboarding, that shit like and skiing and snowboarding, that shit like trended up like crazy. So
Yeah.
like Burton, whatever, like start tagging those brands on there, dude. I'm like the
Yeah.
freaking short I make, I'm gonna tag this tripod company that's from Italy.
Yeah, I would love to get like some free ski clothes. Oh my God, it's so freaking expensive. My
Let's do it,
dream.
man. Let's mana
Manifest.
let's manifest. Dude, that shit works,
Energy
dude.
frequency.
Sydney Sweeney said it, dude. She's like, I manifested it. She's like, she said,
Tap into the LA.
no, she's
Yes.
like, yeah, she's like, I manifested 50 million. I mean, she's worth $40 million right now. It's not bad, you know.
Yeah.
What can you buy for $50 million you can't buy for $40 million net worth?
Dude, can you find like one of these like high caliber or whatever, like decent TikTok coaches or something? Like someone, can you
Right,
find
but
someone
so many of them are like 80% of them are talking hot shit. And then there's
and they
20% of them
suck?
that know what they're doing. The 20% that know what they're doing, 15% of them, they're either like burnt out and over it.
Really? Oh, I
Because
didn't
they're
know
just
you
like,
get
it's like, dude, like for as long as I've known you, you didn't even know I was in product management, career coaching. I never talked about it when I hung out with you guys.
Oh, it's
You
like
know?
product gym
Yeah, it's like
coaching. Yeah.
they're like burnt out, and then the other 5% they're just charging this insane rate. And I was just like, I scheduled like more than 40 calls with like these TikTok, Instagram, YouTube coaches, and
Hmm.
they like that's what I just like I've done the calls myself. Like overwhelmingly, they don't know what they're talking about. They're still trying to figure it out. It's like some 19-year-old British kid
Oh,
you buy. And then like the 15% that's figured it out, they're just like you could just tell they're like so burnt out they don't give a shit anymore. But they've already made their money. And then like the 5% that actually know what they're talking about, they either have a backlog or they just charge this insane rate. And on top of that, they would have to learn tech, like the whole tech influencer demographic. and they don't want to. They spend so much time researching like a demographic, they don't like freaking want to do it. So I was just like, it's just after like a weekend of studying it, it's just better for us to just do this shit ourselves.
Just do it on our own for now, and then maybe we'll meet someone along the way. But
Yeah,
okay,
as long
we'll
as we
see.
promote each other. I mean, that's how all these other people did it. They didn't hire a coach and they started. So like if we're just
Mhm.
that's just the three things. If we're consistently posting, if we're consistently promoting and we're consistently optimizing, then we'll just get it. The blueprint's like already there, you know? Like all these other
All
people
right.
watching each other's YouTube channels. And I think that's like the hard part about doing it yourself is you're not consistently posting. You're not like in terms of like optimizing, there's just so much information out there like you don't know where to start. I think
Yeah.
we just do like like okay, even if like we just add like the verification on the handle, right? Okay, that's a win. Like okay, we
Oh.
implemented like a chat automation, like put out on the comments like hustle or like resume, like that's a freaking win, right? Like at least we're like consistently doing like 15 to 25 things a week, which I think, and we're like accountable to it, and those are all wins. Little wins rack up to big wins. And the good news is like we have a pretty like I would say like energetic, fun, but hardworking group here. Because I mean, we got to get ahead of this. This is where the market, like Mark Zuckerberg already said, like by this year, we could probably replace all the mid-level engineers with AI. Like these guys are already making their move. So we got to make our freaking move too.
Yeah.
Um, and then like
Yeah.
yeah, if we're just like constantly just promoting each other, we'll win because people are just going to be watching this shit and just seeing what it is that we're doing. Anyways, and there's like a few more like folks from like Product Gym that want to rally. Yeah, dude, bring your friend Chuan. Like she's not trying to she'd rather be, I think, making music. I don't think she gives a shit about doing what she's doing, right?
She's making music. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's get it, people. Like, I'm
Woo!
manifesting like what we should just manifest here right now, $1.2 million a year brand, printing $100,000 a month just off a brand. Because
Woo!
that's
By
Akash Gupta.
June.
Akash Gupta's doing like more than like $2 million off of his newsletter.
Uh,
All the influencers I
bro.
showed you guys in tech, they're all doing more than one. They're all doing more than 1.2 million, and they all manifested printing at least $100,000 a month. That's the mindset. We're the best music. We print $100,000 a month just on brand.
Yes.
Dude, that'd be freaking insane. $100,000 a month just on brand, yo. That's like low
Love
effort,
it.
low effort,
Love it.
working less, making more. Uh,
Man, you know how long it takes to make 100K as a product manager?
yeah, dude, it's a lot of Subway sandwiches right there. Freaking- like that's like yeah, there's no I mean, if you need like work in like health insurance, you still need the W-2, but like the best way for you guys to work less on the job and build your side projects up and your side business is having the brand. Everybody that's like saying like that's what I just noticed since tech has done layoffs since 2022. April 2022 was the first round of like major layoffs and it hasn't stopped yet. The people that have a brand, they're on such a lower level of the totem pole. And then I see on Reddit all the time that they're just like, oh yeah, like I can't believe I got laid off, even though this other guy, like it's always like this other girl they kept because you're a
This
walking
girl.
commercial. You're like, you're a freaking commercial that they don't. Yeah. Oppenheimer Group, like me and Dura was watching Selling Sunset during COVID. That was the whole brothers play. They're just like, people would buy real estate from us more if we had a brand and we got to get on Netflix. And their sales freaking shot up because all these people were flexing like, you know, we're looking at houses this weekend with Chriselle. Like, do you honestly need that girl to freaking be your like? You submit an offer. There's no art to this shit. You submit an offer, and if they like your price, they'll sell you the house. But people
Yeah,
start buying it for the flex. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
yeah,
Rich, I mean, to your point, you use Dana White as an example. One of the few things that he teaches his fighters immediately is to build a brand because fighters obviously don't have a long lifespan. And to your point, they promote each other. Like Rampage Jackson or Michael Bisping, they all have podcasts just shouting each other out. So, yeah, what you share definitely resonates with me, and looking
That's
forward
what
to
Conor
the
McGregor
next steps.
did. That's what
Yeah.
like The Rock is the highest paid actor, but most people don't think he's like the best actor. But that guy's like Ryan Reynolds, like 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 the more I study brand, like Reese Witherspoon is a freaking mogul. She is a freaking mogul.
What she
Meanwhile,
did was absolutely smart, though. She just she got everyone.
brand that shit up.
Like the book, the books, like yeah, like all the sign for every book. But now she's like multimillionaire, on the way billionaire.
She's on the way. I mean, it was either that or like constantly playing the distressed housewife that's about to get a divorce, going through a divorce or
Yeah.
getting done with a divorce, like Nicole Kidman. You know, like
Ooh.
that's like Nicole Kidman and Jennifer Aniston. And they're like Nicole, it's freaking hilarious. Nicole Kidman and Jennifer Aniston is like in half of her freaking shows and content. Like like it's either because like that's kind of like well, I studied a film minor in college, right? Like when you take the lifespan of like actors versus actresses, like at different age groups, you monetize different. But like once you're like an actor towards the end, you have like a Liam Neeson. But like the way Hollywood always have the actresses like towards the end, you're the me and Dewar always troll all the time. Like Nicole Kidman, I think she's like on the top of the list. Like you're like a New York City CEO who falls in love with their, incoming sophomore intern. It was like, oh, I could totally play that part like in my sleep. Yeah, we thought the same thing too. That's why you got the first call. And like that movie, did you know how much that thing made? That's been the most profitable movie in the last like 8 months. And they didn't even have to spend like 10% of what they spent on Dune or a Marvel movie. People love that shit. Brand that thing up. So three things, people. What's the homework? IG handle, YouTube handle, 25 brands we want our face on, and manifest printing 100,000 US dollars cash money a month off a brand.
Yes, by June.
I'm tired of trading my time for money. And if I'm tired of trading my time for money, I can only imagine you guys tired of trading your time for money too.
Mhm.
All right, people. I'll be updating you guys in the group chat, but kudos and props to K product manager for duh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yo. We need to get an alcohol deal. Like, that's
Ooh.
what I need.
Mm.
All right, guys. I gotta now run to my other
Right.
day job, which is helping people get product manager jobs.
Oh, thank you, Rich. You changed
Yeah,
my
Yeah.
life.
no.
Uh,
We're gonna do this, Guru. We've been
Enjoy.
talking about it for years.
woo!
With AI now, there's no way we can't do this. That's the way I look at it. We gotta succeed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys. I'll talk to you
Right.
All right.
later.
Thanks, Rich.
Right.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.